Sunday night, and you know what that means. Ringside Heat is on the air on News Talk Sauga 960 AM. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lex Tan, host and producer of this radio show on Sauga 960, on the airways, and also on your favorite podcatchers all around the world. Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, that's a new one, as well as Spreaker and Spotify. You love it. You want to hear it. You love to hear it. And it is Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day to your mothers and all mothers who are listening to this right now and watching this on YouTube as well. Just honor you on this day of the year. And of course, you know, the whole rhetoric goes about the whole thing about, it's like, oh yeah, why do we need one day, just one day of the year to celebrate mothers? Let's celebrate mothers all the time. But hey, special day for them. And I've heard something about mothers wanting to be left alone on Mother's Day. Just let them have that time to relax. Maybe that's a good Mother's Day for you too. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know your moms or anything like that. But hey, I'm sure they're great women. Anyway, let's introduce the ring crew that are here today with me. First off, to the right of my screen, it's Colin at Risen72, and he is our charity Twitch streamer. And I believe, actually, I want to do this one over here. I'll do the introduction one more time, just because I've written some introductions down for you guys here today. Right. First fun, we call him the responsible one. So what you gonna do, Hulk Hogan? Well, because this guy really loves Logan. And I mean Wolverine. AEW expert Colin Dodge at Risen72.
That was so close, Colin.
That was a roller coaster of emotion on my face just now. Wow. Anyway, we did it. It's the big anniversary. Oh, no, wait, that was last week. Shoot. Did I miss it? Damn.
Yo.
No.
I thought I was the tardy one half the time.
But hey,
other obligations, what can you do? But I am back this week to talk about everybody's favorite topic, the IWC and AEW. No, I'm sorry. I miss you guys.
Do love Wolverine, though. You do love Wolverine.
Of course I love Wolverine. He's Canadian. So,
Hells yeah.
That's right. You just had to sneak that in.
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
All right, and the next person on the screen over here, just below Colin's screen, he daylights as a dad and an educator, but moonlights as a diamond-selling musician with a slew of #1 hits being covered live across the country. So much so that Ben Shapiro, a.k.a. Dr. Dreidel, would be jealous of him. He's our theme music writer, and he is a diamond-selling musician. John Dawson at John Dawson Music. How you doing?
I'm pretty good. I should check that diamond thing. I'm not 100% sure that's true. Double platinum at least.
Ah, look at that. Look at the humility on this man. Look at this.
Yes, humility is my greatest strength.
Sorry. Yes, and. Yeah, okay. I got it. Yeah, you're correct.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, ladies and
John
gentlemen.
with a super sexy, smooth, sandpapery sounds tonight.
Hello, my children.
Yeah, it's all that. All thanks to the AKG microphone. Or do you call it the Venus flytrap or something?
No, I'm just imitating Venus. I watched a bunch of WKRP last night, so I'm kind of in that mode.
In Cincinnati?
As everyone should watch that show every day.
You should watch it all the time.
You're just taking me back to one of my favorite genres of all time is yacht rock, and WKRP in Cincinnati is such a great song.
Yeah, and they featured a lot of yacht rock on that show.
Yes.
Yeah.
I should watch that show.
Mm-hmm.
But listen, I'll tell you, I'm all for people getting the rights they deserve, but there was a problem with WKRP when they put it out on DVD. They couldn't license all the original music.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
And as we all know, the music is another character in that show. But there are sources you can go to that have playlists with the original music.
Yeah.
And I've been enjoying those. Yeah, I watched several last night, and I love that show. I love the WKRP is as good as it gets.
Well,
Awesome.
very apt, since we are on the radio here on Sauga 960 AM doing a radio show on the air. And one of the other voices that you just heard over here, this guy's action figure collection can't be denied. He's got more plastic body parts than the Kardashians and the Jenners combined. Wrestling memorabilia collector at Coco Collects, Chico Nuguid. How you doing?
Wow.
Way to toy around with all those, superlatives. And thank you very much for the introduction. I feel welcome. Let's get right to it.
That is right. We will get right to it. But you know what? We are going to take a short break over here. When we come back, we'll reset and we're going to start talking. We're going to start the conversation about last week's WWE PLE in Lyon, France. Backlash, and what an event that was. And my God, that crowd, I gotta ask you guys what you thought of that crowd, and just all the things that just happened last week, and how special that a special time that wrestling is in right now, not just in the WWE but everywhere else as well. So we're gonna send you over to the commercials right here. This is News Talk Saga 960's Ringside Heat, back after these promotional considerations. Welcome back to Ringside Heat on News Talk Saga 960 AM. Lex Tan alongside Colin Dodge, John Dawson, and Chico Nuguid. And we're going to start the conversation off, as I said, with the WWE's latest PLE that they put on as part of their international tour in Lyon, France, WWE Backlash. And this is, I would say, the second Backlash in a row that was totally mind-blowing, because here's the thing. I think we said this even last year on the show, that backlashes sometimes get put in the back burner. People don't really care too much about it at this all the time, but there have been some pretty big moments that have happened at a Backlash. For instance, after WrestleMania 2000, we had The Rock, finally winning the championship against Triple H, and the pop for The Rock when he won that championship was amazing. And then you also had, I guess maybe that moment where Hulk Hogan became the final WWF Undisputed Champion, and later on became the first WWE Undisputed Champion. That came after WrestleMania 18 in Toronto, and I believe there was one where Shane McMahon jumped off the scaffolding, or like the set piece, onto the Big Show. I think was that one of those moments from Backlash?
I believe, yeah, it was right by the Titantron. He climbed right up to the, yeah.
Was that the same Backlash where the stage was those spikes that would swing?
Yes, that's the one. Yeah.
Because that was on WWF No Mercy N64.
As well as WWE SmackDown 4, which one? Shut Your Mouth. That's the one.
That was the fourth one. Yeah, which I think was also after X8.
That's right. Yes, that's exactly why I bought it back in the day.
It had the Skydome. It had the Skydome in there, I think.
Yes, they did. And for true Toronto mans, it's the Skydome for sure.
Skydome. Air Canada Center. Skydome.
Oh yeah. But here's the thing. It's like it's easy sometimes to forget about Backlash, especially since during the whole Thunderdome era we had WrestleMania Backlash. Just putting that on, even deeper.
That was last year too, man.
Oh, really? No,
they did that last year as well.
Did they?
No, sorry, not last year. The year before, WrestleMania Backlash.
Yeah, and guess what? I don't remember anything about that, but I remember first of all, the crowds. I thought the crowd in Puerto Rico was amazing, but my gosh, did Lyon, France just blow everybody out of the water?
Oui. Il est vraiment phénoménal. La 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 la.
Oh my gosh.
And wasn't there a crowd decibel record set or challenged for how
Triple H
responsive and loud Lyon was?
I think Triple H posted on X that before the PLE started, they were receiving noise warnings based on SmackDown the night before.
Oh, awesome.
So sound was leaking out of the arena? Is that what
I think they were just receiving warnings that sound could be at like a dangerous level to ears,
to like heads exploding,
like human ears.
No, I think the warning point was 100 decibels, and they were exceeding that, and they did
120 something, right?
Something like that.
You said something about that, John, in our threads.
Yes.
So yeah, that's. I mean,
good job, Lyon.
I mean, the fan support and being part of the show is one thing, but those guys reacted to everything, every match, up and down the card.
Well, has Lyon ever gotten a pay-per-view event?
No?
That was their first PLE ever
There you
for
go.
WWE.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
so I mean, it's an appetite that hasn't been quenched ever. So I mean,
Yeah,
hugely historic.
they showed up. Yeah.
and so here's and so I've got some questions here over here to ask as well too when it comes to that. Randy Orton mentioned that. That he had never been sung to the ring before with this song, and I personally love his song. I personally love "Voices" by Rev Theory. I believe was it.
Yep.
Rev Theory, not Def Rebel, but Rev Theory. There you go.
Definitely not Def Rebel.
And I love it. I love singing. I love playing it. I love singing it and everything when I'm just like just chilling with my guitar or whatever like that. But I mean. It may be new to Randy Orton, but hell, last year, John, can you attest to this? That over at when Edge celebrated his 25th anniversary at the Scotiabank Arena for SmackDown, the crowd did you notice the crowd singing along to Edge's theme?
Yeah, if I remember correctly, absolutely. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
On that day.
On that day.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
We knew it. Yeah, we knew every word. Yeah, no question. Yeah.
And it's too bad Jose's not here either, but because I remember when we went to AEW Dynamite, we sang that song loud, and they also did the same thing that they did to Cody as well too. They turned down the music, so there was like that a cappella thing going on, and of course we saw that with Chris Jericho and Judas, and it's cool that we actually got to see that with Cody this time around. Now, Chico, Burning My Light versus Voices. Why? Why do you say Burning My Light more than Voices for you?
It's just personal preference. I understand the characterization of Voices and how it works, and it kind of even probably motivated him to like take that low and slow walk to the ring. Mm-hmm. It probably contributed to him morphing his whole physical gimmick to what it is now and the legendary status that he's gotten to. I don't know what it was. I think it just was a nice driving rock theme song that I liked. But I mean, I guess character wise, I will surrender to the fact that it's better for his character. That voice is there. But Burning My Light for something that I would listen to, let's say on a drive, I would rather listen to that than Voices.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I can see that. Yeah, Voices definitely sounds like less of a road trip driving song kind of thing.
Yeah, it's more of a like you're watching the show and Randy's on and that's what he enters to. And that's what works. Yeah.
And Colin, here's a question I have for you. I mean, like, of course you didn't watch it because we know your stance on this. But here's the thing: we have the card itself for this particular PLE was just 5 matches. It was Bloodline, the Bloodline defeating Kevin Owens and Randy Orton in a tag team street fight. That took 20 minutes. Bayley defeated Naomi and Tiffany Stratton by pinfall. That took 13 minutes and 10 seconds. Damian Priest defeated Jey Uso by pinfall and retaining the World Heavyweight Championship. That's a match that took 15 minutes. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill defeat the Kabuki Warriors to win the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship at 17 minutes, and Cody defeating AJ Styles. Amazing intros for both of those guys for the Undisputed Championship in a match that took 27 minutes and 20 seconds. 5 matches on the card, and it filled out 3 hours. 3 hours of good, I guess. I guess focused. A focused wrestling card, right? Now, right now,
with storytelling.
Yes, that too. Exactly. Now,
nobody does it better. So yeah, makes sense to me.
Now, do you see AEW sort of trying to get that trying to get a little bit more focus on that with their cards?
I mean, things are starting to tighten up, but it's also sometimes feels like at a snail's pace as well. I mean, right now, I haven't watched Rampage yet. And actually, I think this week Rampage is happening with Collision like it did last week because of either hockey and or basketball playoffs. But so
Get preempted a lot, huh?
Rampage lately, yeah, with playoffs, Rampage has been getting bounced around. But either they do it, they either leave it till leave it live with Collision, or just tack it on to a 3-hour Dynamite or something and do the final hours of Rampage. Or they did that too 1 week where Dynamite technically was 3 hours. I thought, oh, don't go 3 hours. I never liked Raw's 3 hours.
I was just gonna say that, like, what are they trying to get at here? Isn't one of the things that they try to do as anti-WWE is to
it's because of the playoffs. It's because of the playoffs and stuff like that. They can't show Rampage on Friday because of either hockey or basketball. So they tack it on to Wednesday's showing or tack it on to Saturday on TNT. So it depends on whatever they can get away with that week. But anyway, back to the question. I mean, right now there's only 5 matches booked right now. And the pay-per-view is on the 26th. So there's a lot of time to add the standard 48 matches that they like to have on a pay-per-view. So
which pay-per-view is this again?
This will be Double or Nothing, and
that's right.
the 5th anniversary of AEW as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this
how many years now?
5th year, apparently.
This is the 5th year now.
Really?
By the time May happens, the 26th, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was 6, but I mean,
well, I think we're heading. I think they're heading into their 6th year now with their 5th year for the 5th anniversary now. 5 years now on the air. So
yeah.
So
cool.
So now here's a question for all of you guys over here. Now now knowing and I want to stick with the crowd because I watched that. I watched that over at Sauga 960 2 weeks ago, and I was blown away by just how amazing that crowd was without hijacking anything. And I thought, watching Toronto shows, Toronto wrestling shows over here, and Toronto bring their energy and being Bizarro World, I guess for lack of a better term these days, is one thing, but. Have we lost our place as Bizarro World?
Well, Toronto's not as starved for wrestling events as Lyon is. So maybe the absence makes the heart grow fonder, or never had before makes the heart grow fonder. So.
Right? What is this? This is a fancy show now, you know?
It's like I'm in my TV on a Monday night. Yeah. So.
Well, I mean, they were like, okay, let me go back to Backlash itself and the crowd. One of the things that caught my ear was they were chanting something right after a near fall, every 2 count. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you guys found out. I was told afterwards what the chant was. They were just saying in French, only 2. So, simplement deux. Mm-hmm. That's what they were chanting. And then they were like, deux, simplement deux. And then they automatically would go, simplement deux. So that was mind-boggling to me. I'm like, why would you chant for only 2?
It's no different.
They were crazy, man.
Yeah, I mean, there's ones that still scream out 2 when it's a 2 count. So
no, but they did a full-on chant every time. Simplement deux.
Because they're ready to go.
Every time.
They all had the time of their lives.
Absolutely. I think everybody.
Yeah, everybody there.
Mm-hmm. And I believe the reason why they went to that phrase is because that's the phrase that the French announcers, the French language WWE announcers, can't remember their names right now. Whenever someone kicks out, they actually say on the air simplement deux, right? And so they took that, the fans took that and turned it into a cheer, and that was partly in honor of those announcers, because those guys are the voices. Those guys are the JR and the King
for the French people.
For the French, for the French people. Yeah.
It was nuts. I mean, it's certainly making me think about wanting to cross oceans to go watch live PLEs. Like, that's how effective the crowd was. It made me want to be part of it.
Wow.
You know, I wish I was there. I had myself thinking that like a few times during Backlash.
I missed. Did the Ile Ramon thing happen tonight on SmackDown?
I highly doubt it. I mean, especially if they were in certain parts of the United States where they don't know the first thing about speaking French. I mean, they would just butcher that dang thing, man.
Yeah, that's okay.
No, yeah, vraiment phenomenal. I don't think that would go over well with the French people.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Mind you, I didn't watch SmackDown.
Yeah, I missed it too. But that one moment, like again, I always come back to my family's reaction, because somehow, some way, wrestling has become a family affair here, which I'm not complaining about.
Job well done.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. That song has been like, my family is obsessed over it since Backlash. Like, it's been hilarious. Oh yeah. Oh my god.
The Phenomenal song.
Well, my sons are in French immersion, right? Like this.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Okay.
They just love the fact that this is happening, and my wife just can't get over. It's like, he's supposed to be a heel, but you know, this ridiculous piece of music being associated with him. She's like, I just really wanted to be like, she wants to sing it when we go to SmackDown in July. She will pop huge, and I could see Canada doing this. I could see Canada doing it.
They could.
That one moment was one of the most incredible, and I've heard, accusations of the crowd being obnoxious, blah blah blah. I think that's obtuse. It's a bit obtuse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because
I don't know who would even say that. That was a fun crowd.
I do. I'm not gonna mention who said it, but it was a fairly high profile person who said it. And I don't.
Whoa, well, easy there. More humility coming across.
You are more high profile than you, Colin, but this one might be there. But that tune, man, that was a crazy moment. That was absolutely one of the most amazing fan interaction things I've ever seen. The camera shaking reminds me of the first time I watched Live Aid, the DVD, not when I was a kid when I watched it, when I saw Queen playing and there was this red line going across the screen. I was like, something's wrong with the video. I looked it up. It was because they were so loud. Their decibel level was actually crossing into the visual spectrum.
Wow.
And disturbing the video and creating a red line.
Wow.
That's how powerful. And Queen, listen, quick aside, if you have never seen Queen perform at Live Aid, do yourself a favor, go watch that. It is the greatest rock performance in the history of rock performances, bar none. And they were disturbing the video. So when I saw the crowd shaking the camera, I'm like, I've never seen that before. That was something to behold. That's a soccer country. These are people who know chants, man. These people dig in, they double down. And I think AJ was doing all he could to not break and pop over the fact that this was happening to him. I thought it was brilliant. I really did. I don't think it ruined anything. I think, if anything, maybe it might have started pushing AJ a little face, because I've always loved AJ, but I'm just like, this was brilliant. I don't know, man. I don't think you could fault that crowd on any level.
But there's also nothing wrong with a wrestler changing sides for one night because of the crowd. You know what I mean? Like, you also, at some point, even a little bit, kind of have to go with the flow. If everybody's having a great time, not trying to take over the show, but clearly enjoying the show, soak it up for a half second. It's fine. It's not going to ruin the work that's coming down the line for the next 6 weeks. Like, it's okay. You know?
Or take it, go with it, and change it back to red and yellow or something.
Yeah.
Or that. Yeah, exactly. Or that.
It happened.
Toronto had too much power back then.
Yeah, Toronto really changed the course of history, man. But no, I mean, really French fans, I think, I mean, even Michael Cole said on the air, the camera is shaking.
Yeah.
I mean, he said it. Like, he called it out. And it was true because you could visually see it. Like it was ridiculous.
It
They had to
reminded
cut quick.
Crazy.
Yeah, they had to cut quick.
It reminded me of when of the broadcast of when the Blue Jays were up against the Texas Rangers in 2015, Game 5 at the Skydome Rogers Center, and Jose Bautista hit that home run. And in the dome, there's camera bays that are hanging off the side of the of the bowl. So it's like it's actually just connected to the bowl, not on like the actual concrete area. And man, like the crowd was just so jacked up after that home run and just jumping around the CBS or whatever or whoever was broadcasting. Was it Fox? Whatever. It was Fox. They couldn't find a camera shot steady enough on those areas, so they actually had to cut to a lot of the field shots, a lot of the field cameras, because they just couldn't get a steady shot from that camera. And so so either way, I mean, like, great job on Lyon and everything, but now it's like, what do we do as fans here in Toronto? The
gauntlet's been thrown.
So, exactly. It's challenge accepted. I hope so, Toronto, because we are Bizarro World. We need to keep that. We need to keep that title, and we'll see what happens in SmackDown when you, John, and your family go, and possibly I'll go. Maybe I'll go to NXT. I'm not sure, but we're gonna have to take a break right now, and when we come back, we'll talk a little bit about the AEW pay-per-view coming up. As we mentioned, it's their 5th anniversary coming up with AEW Double or Nothing on Sunday, Mother's Day, and again, happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Either your mom's listening or you yourself, who is a mom who is listening, and we honor you, and we want to commend you for all the work that you do. But we're going to take a break right here. This is Ringside Heat on Newstalk Sauga 960 AM. We are going to be back after these promotional considerations. Welcome back to Ringside Heat on News Talk Sauga 960 AM. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lex Tan. You can follow me at Lex Tan Media. Follow the show at Ringside_Heat on all of your social media accounts. And also buy us a coffee. ko.fi.com/ringside_heat. You like what we do? Buy us a coffee. And we also have our ring crew here today at Risen72, AEW expert Colin Dodge. We've got our theme music writer and as well diamond selling musician, or maybe even double platinum selling musician. Who knows?
I don't know. I gotta figure that out.
At John Dawson Music, John Taco Dawson. And we also have Coco Collects, our wrestling memorabilia collection expert here. And you can follow him, as I did mention where you can follow him at Coco Collects, Chico Nuguid. Anyway, guys, before we get into AEW Double or Nothing, there's one thing I kind of do want to just throw out there, because I think this is...
One of their employees.
What?
One of their employees.
Well, sponsor, shower.
No, he's on the payroll. Anyway,
he's got a graphic on the Titantron sometimes. Woo Energy. Anyway, that's a free plug. I regret it already. Go ahead.
Who are you talking about?
Oh boy. Yeah, there's just some things you just gotta laugh about over here. Ric Flair being kicked out of a restaurant, and then somebody filming the altercation over here, and then I don't need to really go into the entire transcript of what happened.
In-depth look.
Yeah. but here's but then, like, yeah, so let's see, as previously in the WWE Hall of Famer, Ric Flair claimed that he was kicked out of the Piazonas restaurant in Florida after spending $1,500 at the restaurant, and of course, $1,500 at a restaurant is not chump change at all. But of course,
you can get kicked out of places in Florida. Wow. Okay.
But But then again, it's not. But then again, $1,500 is chump change to Ric Flair, even though even though he's had his last match a couple of years ago and he had some health problems during the last match. Please don't do that ever again, Ric Flair. Please, God, no.
Ever.
Yeah. So the restaurant owner responded by claiming that his team worked in a professional manner to ensure the safety of the guests and staff. And here are some of the quotes of the exchange. Ric Flair says he didn't do anything wrong except spend money and put this place over, bring his family and friends there, and then said that is bad for you. And the worker's like, why would it be bad for me? Well, watch social media tomorrow. I don't follow social media. Well, you better. This is Flair. Well, you better. What's your name? Nicholas what? Nicholas Richard Noggin. Let's put it that way. Richard Noggin. That is something you can say on the air.
Nicholas Richard Noggin.
Yes, sir.
Interesting.
Yep. Nicholas Richard Noggin. You don't have to call me that. You don't have to do this to me. And then they argue, whatever like that. And let's see. The worker said that claimed that Flair said cuss words, and Flair said and Flair retorts, yeah. Worker says, "I'm telling you not to leave."
Falling out everywhere.
But I'm telling you,
heard around the world.
And the worker said that he had to cut off Ric Flair, to which Ric Flair responded, "Oh, I'm cut off in the front. Really?" I don't know. That just sounded hilarious to me.
Oh my goodness.
And he tried to.
Is it really PA zonas, or I like to if I see the spelling of this restaurant, I kind of like to say paisanos.
Maybe, yeah, sure.
It's almost there. Could be.
Paisanos.
That's lawsuits. They can't do that. I'm sure there's.
No, these days, shoot.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's to me a little bit of Nate being Nate. He's a party animal, and now. From what were you done summarizing it, or is there much more to it than that? Pretty much it. But
I was gonna say that he offered one of the female workers $1,000 tip to call that person he was arguing with a dip poop. So
a dip poop, yes. A dunk poop or something.
Yes, a dunk poop. Yes, there you go. Richard Noggins and dunk poops. There you go. New words on the air, ladies and gentlemen.
Richard Noggins and dunk poops.
Let's get this set in the schoolyards, folks. No,
that's the title of the Spotify upload, I guess.
There you go.
Richard Noggins and
dunk poops.
And dunk poops.
Okay. Ringside Heat.
Wow. I wish our shit numbers are going down.
Anyway,
bring up the things that you should forget. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. That's
so. I mean, a little bit of Nate being Nate, not to excuse the behavior that he did, but. I mean, he then issued an apology, but it took a couple days because it's Nate, right? Proud man.
Yeah.
He said, "I was wrong for losing my temper. When I feel like I'm put in that area where I'm uncomfortable and all of a sudden everything just fell apart, I got upset. I was wrong for getting upset. Good on you, Nate, for realizing this. I probably just should have walked out the door, but it caught me off guard because we were having a wonderful time. Then all of a sudden... someone in their kitchen said I did something wrong in the bathroom, and there's no one there except me and him. So he was caught, I guess, doing something perceptibly inappropriate, and then he felt a little cornered, I guess.
Whatever that may be.
I mean, we'll never know the truth of the situation, but he certainly reacted in a certain way. I don't want to know. Nothing about helicopters or anything like that, okay? Let's leave that out of any Ric Flair stories. But hey, I mean, just be nice to each other, people, all right? Just try to be civil, and let's not do these silly little incidences that get caught on social media. Let's just keep pro wrestling fun and keep all the fun stuff in the ring, I guess. But I mean, it sure makes for certain funny headlines for a couple of days, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Good old Nate.
Yeah.
How much longer does he have in AEW? I have no idea.
Yeah, John.
He might have forgotten that he's contracted there. Who knows?
Yeah. How long do you think that Nate has in AEW left now, John, after this?
AEW fans haven't seen him in years. We just see a logo every now and
again. He's wasted in AEW right now, man. I'm telling you, one of my favorite things of all time is listening to Bill Burr talk about the Ric Flair 30 and 30 by 30, whatever
30
that
for
one
30.
is.
Yeah,
30 for 30.
Oh my God! Nate gonna Nate. You know what I mean? Like, just
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, come
Nate's
home.
gonna Nate.
He's just in the wrong spot, man. He's got to be on a big stage because it's just too funny.
Also, on that note, look up Bill Burr's helicopter story. That's one of his best routines.
Helicopters in the same conversation as Ric Flair. I mean, after Dark Side of the Ring, I don't know if I want to put those in the same context. So,
just saying. Somebody said Bill Burr. I remember his helicopter story. Mm-hmm. It's a great story.
Other people remember other helicopter stories, but anyway,
and plane stories too.
I think
anyway.
this is one of those things
Chico's
that
a little
didn't really
focused on helicopter stories.
I think this is oh my goodness. I don't think this deserves too much more attention, but Ric Flair, you know, Nate being Nate, as John said, it's just
Nate and Nate.
Yeah, I mean, I'll agree with you, John. He was wasted in that whole Sting campaign, in my opinion. I mean,
yeah, I just think he's on the wrong stage, man. Like, that's Ric Flair. He should be. He's just not.
I'm glad he's getting a payday, but I'm sure part of him also saw his son-in-law walk out the door and said, "Wait a minute."
Yeah,
you know, he probably wants to get back there too, to the E.
There's a place for him, I think. Well, I don't. Yeah, maybe.
Yes and no. I mean, they let Jerry Lawler's contract just expire.
It's a tough call. It's
a new era. You know, the PLE, the Paul Levesque era.
I mean, he can't get in the ring. I mean, but
no.
You know,
oh please God, no,
no,
let's
never do that again.
Not in WWE right now. Not a chance.
Not a attack going up the stairs.
Trips won't let him do that.
But I don't know. There's a version where, I don't know. I really don't know if there's a place for him. It's just he deserves a bigger stage because he is who he is, and he just makes me laugh.
Look, I will give credit to AEW and say they have not allowed Rick to get into a match either. So kudos.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of matches in AEW, well, there are 5 matches that have been announced for AEW Double or Nothing, which is happening in a couple of weeks over here. And I guess we're going to well, first of all, Colin has graciously decided that he wants to do a live stream reaction for the show as well. So thank you to Colin for that, and make sure you watch Colin while he does the live streams. I'll be jumping on every now and then as well too, but I also want to go along with John and Jose with the ringside waybacks and everything. So I'll be here, I'll be there, I'll be wherever I need to be. But 5 matches.
A Beatles song coming on.
Yes.
I've been everywhere. Anyway, we probably can't.
Double or Nothing. Roll the dice or some Vegas thing.
Yeah. Sorry. Took on my throat.
So far, we've got 5 matches announced that are going to be taking place. Of course, card is subject to change. Willow Nightingale, the champion, with Stokely Hathaway versus Mercedes Moné for the TBS Championship. Roderick Strong versus Will Ospreay for the AEW International Championship. We've got Timeless Toni Storm putting up the title with Luther and Mariah May by her side against Serena Deeb. The Women's World Championship is on the line. We've got the singles match for the AEW World Championship. Swerve Strickland putting the title up on the line against Christian Cage, and of course Swerve will be with Prince Nana or Nana, whatever is how are you?
Nana.
Okay.
Nana.
Sorry, LA Knight in the brain.
Too much LA Knight.
Yeah. Wow. And Christian Cage with Kill Switch, Nick Wayne, and Mother Wayne by his side, the patriarchy, and then of course, and then the Anarchy in the arena match for the main event. It'll be the Elite, Kazuchika Okada, Jack Perry, Matt and Nicholas Jackson. Team versus Team AEW, Bryan Danielson, Eddie Kingston, Cash Wheeler, and Dax Harwood are those are the 5 matches that have been announced so far. So, Colin, in your opinion right now, I mean, what's the match out of these 5 that you are looking forward to?
Well, honestly, the one I'm looking forward to the most is Swerve and Christian, because, well, first it's Christian. He just shows up out of nowhere, goes into this match. But not only that, there's match history created within AEW. I think this is the first time there's match history that they're referring to that happened in AEW, not on another promotion 20 years ago that nobody knows about. So that's very exciting. They created their own history that they're now referring to and paying it off. Wow. Because not too long ago, Swerve Strickland showed up and beat the crap out of Nick Wayne back when Nick Wayne was Darby's buddy. So, it's all intermixed. And I'm like, hey, I paid attention to something and it's paying off, and it all happened within AEW. So that's very exciting in itself. I think a potential match stealer, not just because it's Will Ospreay, but Roderick Strong. He always has fantastic matches. Now, unfortunately, I don't think as many people realize or care or know how good Roderick is, or maybe pay attention to how good he is, but they remember after the end of the match that, oh yeah, he always puts on a book. Him and Orange was a fantastic match when he beat Orange for the title, the international championship. Right. So I'm pretty sure. Exactly. I'm pretty sure Ospreay's going to win this one, but I don't know.
You think so?
Undisputed Kingdom has a lot of gold right now, so it's between 18 promotions that they seem to show up in. So,
yeah, about 5,000
the other two are showing
rings.
up everywhere. But yeah, so that should be good. I wish Mercedes' debut and stuff. I know she's not cleared yet, so she couldn't wrestle yet. But I wish it was better. I don't know. It seems like she's taking
that's a whole topic on its own, man.
Yeah,
holy moly.
She's taking a step back. Like, this is like beginning NXT days, I think, or I don't know. It's so bland, and I mean, I guess it's good. It's titles coming off of Willow, because I don't think Willow is really doing anything for the championship itself, not as much as Julia Hart did. So. Yeah, I don't know. That's going to be weird. Anarchy in the Arena, I really didn't care that much until they added Eddie Kingston and Bryan Danielson. Now I'm interested. So, but there's no titles on the line anyway, because it's a 4 versus 4. So, maybe Team AEW will win. It's interesting. Kenny Omega is kind of, the GM laptop a little bit as he's recovering. I hope he can wrestle again one day, but of course his actual real physical health and safety is paramount. So hopefully he's able to get through all that in the best way possible. But yeah, he's the good guy GM right now. So that's interesting, at least. But yeah, I mean, that match is going to be a bloodbath. It's going to be hard to watch because it's going to be everywhere. But again, it's, Eddie Kingston off his leash, and Bryan Danielson could very well be his last match, depending on how crazy he wants to get that night. So,
oh gosh.
I mean, well, because he's in his victory lap. This is his victory lap year, right? So, yeah. And they haven't announced what his actual final match is going to be yet, or where it's going to be. So, But
now I got a question here for Chico and for John, because Chico did mention this here, and I know, John, you talk about the little things that that we pick up on, especially when you're in the WWE. And first of all, with Christian Cage. Christian Cage is one of those guys who's been under that WWE learning tree, for lack of a better term. But Christian is but he's one of those guys who knows how to do the little things and bring that story. Now, if Colin was mentioning that this is history within that company, how do you think that will benefit? How do you think Christian's storytelling with the little things benefiting what could be the future of AEW?
Swerve needs a heater, and Christian Cage is the guy to get him to the next level. Swerve is still gaining momentum as sort of an all-timer superstar kind of guy. He was on his way up too in NXT, and then on the main roster, it's just Vince didn't know what to do with him. So, I mean, he kind of just fell off, and then slowly had to kind of like restart in AEW. But he had the good fortune of aligning himself with Prince Nana, who seems to have a strange chemistry with him. That zany dance that he does seems to have provide a good contrast to sort of that tweener, mean-looking Swerve Strickland character, whatever it is. But he's resonated with the crowd, and now he's been rewarded with the championship run. So, but I think Christian Cage is a good guy for him to build even more of a legacy. Again, it just another notch in the belt. So I think that's the main thing of putting Christian Cage with him. Plus, it'll teach him a thing or two, because Christian Cage is highly respected as a ring general and somebody who can help you to level up in how you execute a match, right? So there you go. That's Christian Cage being the heater there.
And then I just want to ask one last thing before we sign off the air. In terms of, we mentioned Orange Cassidy before, we mentioned the little things with Christian Cage, and the effects of no selling. We've heard this week that Busted Open did get heated on Orange Cassidy because Orange Cassidy
twice in the week
did not sell a pile driver on the steel steps. And John, as when you're viewing the story as it is, what's the effect of no selling to you?
I think it's a very antithesis of what wrestling should be. I don't if sell something, especially a pile driver on steel steps, that whether directly or indirectly is communicating a lot of things. And none of them are good.
Throws the fake label in your face.
Yeah, I just if your story in the ring needs to have you recover from something like that, then maybe don't do that.
If you don't want to show the recovery,
if you don't want to show the recovery, but can you recover? Look, man, come on. I come from a time when Jake the Snake's DDT was a finisher. That was it. And it's just been escalating and escalating and escalating. And WWE is guilty of this too.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not just holding AEW up there. It's like, even Jim Ross, like people kicking at a finishers.
I remember he had a thing about that.
Yeah. What's the point of a finisher if you're kicking out of it? You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think there's just other ways to do these things, and a pile driver on the steel steps when I was a kid would have been like when Ricky Steamboat got a double axe handle on the ray of the guards there. He was out for months, couldn't speak.
Yeah, his larynx.
His larynx was destroyed. That was it. Crushed his larynx.
Yeah,
that was the narrative.
So many crushed larynxes. Yeah.
Somebody crushed larynxes with a double axe handle.
Yeah.
On a guardrail.
That's how you did it. Yeah.
That's how you did it. So I do, I find these things a bit silly. It's like, but if we're constantly in this spot game, you're really backing yourself into a corner. And I think there's just better ways to tell your stories in the ring than spots, or, especially like I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say here? It's like,
yeah.
Yep.
Also, you're filling up your bump card faster than you have to.
Yeah. You can't, you're can't
taking years off your career,
man. Yeah. Well, there's that, Chico. You're taking years off your career. One of those goes wrong. We saw what happened to Stone Cold via Owen Hart in the ring. These are two guys who had a lot of experience. Man, if that went wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, why?
Or any more wrong. Yeah.
Or any more wrong. Any more, sure. Any more wrong.
Yeah.
But why are they being put in this position? And I would point to Al Snow's critique of a lot of this, what he calls the indie mentality. I think it's maybe not an entirely fair indictment of indie wrestling, but the idea,
I think it's fair.
Okay, fine. I'm just trying to be kind. We're all fans. We have friends who are in indie wrestling, but the reality is his point is that an indie wrestling mentality says, I'm going to wrestle once a week because I have another job, so I can do these crazy bumps and whatever. But if your guy's got to get on a plane and go to another show,
Yeah.
you're
Doing
not
5 shows that week.
doing 5 shows that week because your life depends on it.
Yep.
This is your gig. Your mortgage hangs on you being able to function in a ring. You might rethink a spot like that because if it goes wrong, you're done in more ways than one. So, I think it is, and that's Al Snow's point, is that this mentality that seems more present. I won't say it's not present in WWE, more present in AEW, this so-called indie mentality by Al Snow's definition is a very dangerous game to play. And I'm sorry, we can thank the Meltzers and the whoever's for, look, I'm not a wrestling journalist, so I can call out a wrestling journalist and say it's hurting wrestling. This ridiculous spot fest fetish people have.
Yep.
What are you going to do to these guys who got to feed their families?
Yep.
It's a problem for me.
Well, you know what? I mean, it's the ongoing question about, I guess, the ongoing argument of story versus spots, and that's something that I'm hoping see develop through the next generations of wrestlers, and I'm seeing it as well too with the indie promotions that I've been around. There are a lot of good storytelling, and there's a lot of good storytelling and. In that sort of vein, and I'm hoping that maybe that the working of the working smarter, not harder kind of thing.
Bingo.
Mentality. Hopefully, will permeate through, I guess, this next generation, this next crop of wrestlers that are coming up right now. But at this point, we've run out of time on the radio side. Just want to, before we go, bring your attention to Destiny World Wrestling and their Zero Fear show over in Oshawa, Sunday, May the 19th at the Children's Arena, 155 Arena Street, and 6 o'clock is when doors open. Shows at 7 o'clock. If you want tickets, go to DestinyWrestling.ca. But if you want tickets to us, we've got a deal. Talk to us, reach out to us. We've got a deal for you, and I'll be there. And it is going to be a fun night of wrestling because, hey, guess what? There's Shelton Benjamin. We've got Matt Riddle going to be coming to the show, as well as Joey Janela from there as well. So it's going to be a good night of wrestling. It's going to be fun. It's going to be May the 19th, and I can cut you a deal if you want.
What date is that again?
May 19. Gotta be Kane. Anyway, thank you. Thank you to Colin at Risen72. Thank you to John at John Dawson Music. Thank you to Coco Collects, Chico Nuguid, and thank you to all of you listening on right here on Sauga 960 AM, on Spotify, on YouTube, on Apple Podcasts, on iHeartRadio, and Google Podcasts as well. My name is Lex Tan, and remember, tune in next week and tune in every week for lots of great wrestling talk here on Sauga 960. Ringside Heat, we remember the things you probably forgot.